Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be looking at a common question I often get in the comments about KDP low content books, and it centers around how quick can you make money from books? How quick should I be making money? Will I make sales if I upload X number of books? So stick around because it's quite an interesting answer. Now, my name's Marles and I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it, and that's your money I'm talking about. If you like videos like that, then give it a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe, and also smash that notification bell to receive notification of when I produce more videos like this. Now, before we get into the meat of the show, I just want to talk about something called synchronicity and whether you've ever experienced synchronicity. And what is it? Well, it's when a series of random events come together into one related event. Because something interesting happened to me this week where a series of random things have occurred to create something amazing, something I wouldn't have expected would have happened 1, 2, 3 weeks ago, where a few things have come together to create something amazing. And I know it sounds a bit sort of mysterious, and I will discuss it in future videos, but I was just wondering whether anyone else had experienced similar sorts of events. It's quite amazing. But anyway, now look, I get these questions. I get quite a few questions. I mean, I got one recently which read, I love your content. I started KDP a week ago, uploaded 10 books. Would it be possible to make $100 a month with no content books? Because basically I find low content books quite hard. And I get a lot of questions like this. Last month I uploaded 20 books. Why am I not making any sales? Can I make X amount of money a month? When will I start to make money? And what they all boil down to is, I want to make money quick and I want to make money easily. Can I do this with KDP? And it's an expectation with a lot of online businesses and a lot of people that go into online businesses. They're looking for the quick, easy fix, the quick, easy way to make money online. Is KDP the answer to that? Well, I'd say no. Now look at the first question I mentioned, and that was I uploaded 10 books a week ago. No content books. Can I make $100 a month from this? Well, no, not from 10 books you can't. Can you make them from no content books? Yes, but you're probably going to have to upload quite a large number. And the reason for that is because you need to learn the craft. You need to learn what sells. You need to learn what type of designs sell. And before you learn that, you're going to be making mistakes. You're going to be uploading books that don't look good, that are priced wrong, the titles are wrong. But again, it boils down to how quickly can I make money? And then the other part of the question was, I find low content books difficult. Well, after a week, you've not even tried to create a low content book really. And why not learn? Why not look further ahead and learn the craft? Learn how to make low content books rather than saying I need to make $100 from low content books. And I get it, because I know at the moment people are struggling financially, particularly with the current house arrest situation. They might be out of a job, their business is going down. But still, that won't make any difference to how quick you can make money. And I understand why people do want to make money fast. So when you get into this KDP business, you've got to have a longer term view, because this is like any other business. Now, something like Amazon, 4 to 5 years before it became profitable. Tesla, I think they've only just started to create a profit, and I think last year they lost something like $890 million. And for most businesses, 20% of businesses fail after the first year, I think 30% after 2 years, and 50% after 5 years. So doing any sort of business is not easy, it's not quick, it's tough. And why do you think doing a business like KDP is any different than any other business? Why should there be the expectation that you can upload half a dozen books one month and be making a profit the next month? Yeah, if you're lucky, you could do, but the odds are that you're not going to, and you're going to need to persist. So the first thing I'd say is tailor your expectations. Because when you do upload a book, first of all, it takes a few weeks often before people can actually click on the look inside your book to see what your book looks like inside. So people would probably prefer to pay for a book that they can click on and have a look inside compared to one that they couldn't. So it's going to be a few weeks really before that happens. Then it takes a while before Amazon properly indexes your book and works out what keywords are applicable to your book and what keywords are they going to apply to your book that gives your book the most chance of making sales, because at the end of the day Amazon wants to make money. So there's that issue, and I find for a lot of books I don't make any sale for a few months or even 6 months, then all of a sudden it'll start to sell, start to gain traction, and you'll start to make lots of sales. And there's no rhyme or reason to this, there's no pattern to this. I've had books that I've uploaded and a day later started making a couple of sales. Now, one of my best selling books, I wrote down some figures here. Now this was one of those unusual ones where I uploaded it 1 month and in the first month sold 27 books. Second month 32, then 70, 131, 186, 134, and then we come up to the recent months. So March this year 186, April 264, this month already 162, so looking to sell 300 to 320. So these books are not static. The longer they're in the system of Amazon, the more chance you've got to make sales. And again, if they start making sales, getting traction, getting reviews, then there's a potential to make a lot of sales. But this book has been uploaded for nearly a year now, and it's only recently that the sales have really started to take off. So you need to have a long-term view. You need to look at this business and say, do you know what, I'm going to persist at this for the next 1 to 2 years. 1 to 2 years minimum. I'm just going to upload regularly, learn how to create good covers, learn how to create good interiors, learn about keywords, because that's one of the most important things if you're going to get sales. It's your keyword research. You need to find out what people are searching for. And then when you sort of master all those things, then you'll start to discover what works. You'll be looking at other books on Amazon. You'll start to see the type of books that sell well, the type of prices that encourage buyers in a particular niche. And when that comes, you'll find making the books a lot easier, but it's just going to take time. Now, as I've run through in other videos, sales depend on a number of factors. And first of all, it's the niche you're going into. Now, if you're starting out and you're producing, say, a colouring book, or you've created a few colouring books and a month later you're wondering why you've not made any sales, because you know there's lots of other colouring books out there and they're making huge amounts of sales. That's true, but the problem is you're entering a very competitive niche. So you need to look at the sort of niche that you're starting off in. Now when people ask me, you know, I've uploaded 20 books, I've not sold any this month, why? Well, there isn't one single answer. One, I don't know what books you've uploaded. I don't know what niche you're in. I might just look at the niche and go, well, you're going for a ridiculously competitive niche. You need to start looking at your keywords and niching down and finding things that people are searching for that's not as competitive as the keywords that you're targeting. Because if you upload a book and you title it colouring book, I can't remember how many competitors there are, but there's probably 30,000 competitors on Amazon. Well, it's going to be very difficult, when you're starting off to compete with that number. My advice would be start looking at the smaller niches, the smaller low content books. What works well for me, and this worked well from early on in my KDP career, and that was sort of the logbook niche, if you like. There's loads of different types of logbooks. You know, there's business books, there's medical logbooks, there's sporting logbooks. There's so many different types, and those are the niches I would probably start off in, because one, they're reasonably easy to create, and there's less competition, so you've got a good chance of making sales. And I would avoid the really competitive niches until you get experience in this field. The keywords, again, you need to learn good keyword research. Down below I've linked to my Gumroad keyword and interior store, where I give you a lot of good keywords, but they are in competitive niches, in the activity book niche. But they're the sort of keywords that people are searching for. And if you want to do it yourself, you need to go to Amazon. You need to be putting in keywords into the search bar, seeing what comes up in those suggested lists, because they're the things that people are searching for. And I always say, give people what they want. Don't try and find a new market that's out there that no one's thought of. Certainly do that after you've started making a reasonable amount of money, but I certainly wouldn't start off doing that at the beginning, because in all likelihood you're trying to create something, a market that's not there, so you're not going to sell any books. Then you come to the cover design. Again, this is another factor. So we've got your niche, we've got your keywords you're using, you've got your cover design. I don't know what your covers look like. I mean, they could be awful for all I know, and could be putting off buyers. It depends on your graphic design skills, or whether you're purchasing covers from somewhere else. I mean, again, this is a factor. It's one of the biggest factors when people are searching through books. After they've put their search term in the bar, they've then got a whole list of books. If the cover isn't attractive, people are not going to click on it, so you're not going to make sales. And then you've got the interior. What does your interior look like? Now, some people have given me links to their books, and I look at the interiors, and to put it bluntly, they're bloody awful. There's no proper formatting, the spelling mistakes, they just look poor. And either they've done them themselves without any regards to the design, or they've just outsourced it to someone who's maybe hasn't got English as their first language, which there's no problem with. But if that's the case, you need to double check the spelling. And then they ask me why I'm not getting sales, and it's like, it's obvious. You've got to put yourself in the shoes of a customer. Just put yourself in the shoes of a customer and be honest with yourself. If you looked at this cover, if you looked at this interior, would I buy it? Because a lot of the time, a lot of the ones I look at, I'd say no. And then one of the smaller things, and one of the easier things to do, is looking at the price. Don't price yourself out of the market by charging too much. And don't undersell yourself, because customers, when they're searching through lists of books, don't necessarily go for the cheapest, because sometimes the cheapest can make people think that your product is inferior to a slightly more expensive book. In fact, my best-selling book, the one I've just talked about, is $1 more than all the other books in the top 10. Yet that sells the most, because sometimes a slightly high price can convey a better quality. So look, I know it all sounds a bit harsh, but when you're starting out, don't expect sales straight away. If you've uploaded half a dozen books, particularly no content books, because the market for those is very competitive at the moment. If you want to learn more about no content books, here's a link above, the steps to go through if you are just starting out in the no content book market. But if you've uploaded a dozen no content books and expecting sales, I think you're going to be disappointed, because it's very competitive. And unless you've got the design of your cover and your keywords there, you're going to struggle making any sales. And with things like no content books, it's a numbers game. You're going to have to upload more than a dozen, more than 12. You're going to probably have to upload 300, 400, 500. And then you'll start to realise what's selling, what's not selling. And then you can analyse your sales and go, okay, well, that particular book sold well, or those particular books sold well. What characteristics did they have in terms of what colour was the cover, what was written on the cover, what prices were they? And until you have experience in that, it's going to be tough. And also, when you start off, the quality of your product is not going to be as good as somebody that's been doing this for a year or 2 years. So again, that's against you. But if you're determined in this business and you have a longer term view, you can work on that. You can take some courses, go to Udemy or Skillshare. I think Skillshare offer a free first 2 months to sign up, where you can go and watch some courses on graphic design, on using things like Illustrator or Gravit Designer. That's what I did when I started out. I did some courses. I followed a few people on Skillshare and on their YouTube channels and learnt about graphic design, what colours sell well, what colours go well together, where you should position your design on the cover, where you should position the writing, because it all makes a difference. I look at a lot of books, notebooks, and the title on the front is way too small, or it's not positioned in the right place and it just doesn't look right, and customers will just scroll past that. No problem, they'll just scroll past and you won't be making any sales. So learn the craft if you're taking this business seriously and you want to do it for the long term. So my takeaway message from this is be realistic. Take a longer term view. Persistence is key. The reason a lot of businesses fail is that they give up too early. I mean, of those statistics I told you, 50% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. How many of those may have succeeded if they'd just stuck at it a day longer, a week longer, a month longer? It's a well-known fact that a lot of businesses give up. A lot of people give up just before they're about to make a breakthrough, just before they're about to make those big sales and create a successful business. Learn the business in terms of design, keyword research, interior design, pricing, titles. Learn that and find out what works, and find out what works from your own experience. And also, there's other ways to make money online than just creating KDP books. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Start, doing your KDP books and look at other ways to make money online. If you go to YouTube, you can just put that in the search bar and you'll come up with lots of videos. Some are no good, some are very good. You could build and create websites, create a product that you can sell. If you've got a skill and interest and expertise in some area, that's always something you can build into a course. Yes, it's tough, but the fact that it's tough makes it good because it means there's less competition. But it's a great way of earning money online. Creating a YouTube channel. Now, I started this at the beginning of January. Didn't really focus on it until February, but within a few months I've been able to monetize the channel and now creating another income. The more little channels of income you create, the more your life won't be dependent on any one particular income. And you may find that you're more suitable to a particular way of earning money. So you might start a YouTube channel, you might create a course, you might start doing KDP books, and then you may find that actually I'm particularly good at this one area, which then starts to take off and becomes, a big chunk of your income. So that's it for now. I hope that answers that particular question. I apologise if I'm a bit harsh, but this is business, this is money, and you've got to be harsh. It's a tough thing to earn money in any realm, whether it's a physical job or an online job, and it should be treated like any other business. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and also smash the notification bell. And until next time, and goodbye.